Hello, and welcome to the Greater Statesville Chamber of Commerce 2023 City Council Election Podcast. I'm William Morgan. I'm chair of the Chamber's Business Advocacy Committee. I'm a former two-term City Council member, and I'm pleased to be joined by incumbent Ward 1 City Council Representative David Jones. David, welcome.
Hey, welcome. Appreciate the invite and appreciate being able to come out here. Look forward to having a conversation with you. As William stated, I'm running for re-election for Ward 1. I'm born and raised in Statesville, and I love the community that I work and live in and also serve. So look forward to engaging in questions and comments that y'all have.
Sure.
And once again, thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. And I might mention the current Mayor Pro Tem as well.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So why are you running again for City Council? What inspired you to get involved in local government?
So, I initially ran to kind of be an active voice on the city council to make a positive change. And I think the council has done that over the last 4 years. We've seen a lot of positive initiatives take place. We have started working on a strategic plan in the city, and we're not finished with that. Hopefully we can get that finished this year and get that into the budget processing for 2024. So I'd like to see us finish that. So that's probably one of the biggest initiatives that I would like to see the city finish and get implemented. And I'd like to be an active participant in that process.
As you mentioned, you grew up here. I've known you forever.
Yeah.
A lot of changes in Statesville. What do you think are some of the top, maybe top 3 issues facing our city, and how do you anticipate being able to address those?
Well, probably the top issue that I see with the city is the city has been kind of flat with population growth for the last 50 years, maybe 3% over a 50-year period. So it's very marginal growth. And I think the city in the next 5 to 10 years is going to see the largest growth that we've ever seen. And with growth comes challenges. And with challenges with growth, you're going to have needs for resources. So there could be a gap, a period of time that we strain our resources for public safety and sanitation when we don't have enough revenue to offset the increased demand. And then also with growth comes, traffic. And as we've seen with our neighbors in Mooresville, they have traffic issues. If you drive down Highway 150 or Brawley School Road or those areas, those corridors are extremely congested. So I think the city needs to plan and be ready for growth. And as we have these corridors, 21, Highway 115, Broad Street, those primary corridors that connect us to other communities. As we have growth come in, we've got to be ready to plan and plan effectively for that. So I see those as challenges.
So to kind of drill it down just a little bit, you're representing Ward 1, which is primarily eastern city of Statesville boundaries. What do you think is the number one priority in your ward?
That's a good question. I mean, we've seen challenges in Ward 1 over the past few years, specifically in the country club area with stormwater. So as we have future growth in the area, the issue of stormwater, impervious areas, that becomes an issue and concern. So a lot of the residents in Ward 1, when we have these heavy rains, are having flooding issues. So stormwater is an issue for Ward 1.
Okay. You're in the real estate business. So along with that growth comes challenging housing issues, affordable housing, for example. How would you address affordable housing?
That's a national issue. And just the term affordable housing, there's debates on what that is, the definition. Just recently, the past city council meeting, we had an initiative that the city did. We sold 3 parcels of land to a developer to build affordable housing. And they ran into an issue by not being able to hit the price point. So they had to come back to the city council. We recognized, we've got a failed policy here. Number one, we don't have a policy on affordable housing. So this identified an issue, and I made a motion that we approve the request to sell these properties at $184,000 per unit, of which all those are under contract now. But we need to work on a policy. And so the city's got to create a policy. Number one, you got to define what is affordable housing. Is it, the National Association of Realtors stated that it's a range from 60% to 120% of your median household income. So with that being said, if you look at the median household income in Statesville, which is somewhere around $47,000, well, they're not going to qualify for that house. So you're going to have two incomes that will qualify for what in those terms is affordable housing. So number one, I think the city's got to create a policy for any properties that they're going to put out to the public and tie it to affordable housing. And then you also got to have, if a person lives in a property that they bought as affordable housing and they're going to sell it and they've been there for 5 years, 10 years, what kind of restrictions tie to that? Are we going to say, hey, it's got to stay in affordable housing, or can it sell for the highest and best use and the owner receives equity moving forward? So number one, we don't have those policies set. And it's not clearly defined. So I think the city needs to have a policy. They need to set it. And then if we're going to create initiatives for affordable housing, well, that needs to be part of our strategic plan. And we need to have metrics established. Are we really achieving what we're trying to do with affordable housing? And those metrics have not been established. So that's all a part of creating and finishing the strategic plan for the city.
Mm-hmm. Following your observation and I think correct prediction that Statesville is going to grow significantly in the very near future, economic development is going to be important. Job growth is going to be important. What kind of ideas do you have for that?
So, we have been blessed with economic development in Statesville since, I think, 2018. I think it's been like $1.1 billion of economic growth and reinvestment in Statesville. And some of that is new industries coming to Statesville, and some of that's existing industries that are already in Statesville. We went out to the Cheney brothers probably about a year or so ago, and we went and looked at their recent investment and expansion out there. And they had the county commissioners and city council out there. And really the bottom line for that industry was like, you know what? We're excited with all the growth in Statesville, but we're extremely concerned with the labor force. We're having an issue hiring. And really, I think the county and the city recognize that. There's initiatives for education and career path development. So as industries look for investing in communities, it's not all about the real estate. That's probably the least important. The most important is there infrastructure in place, electricity, water, sewer, and is there a labor force for them to employ and meet their goals of the corporation? You got to have employees to do that. So employment is a big deal. Education is a big deal. And I think any initiatives that the city can participate and enhance that with education is a plus.
Sure. Well, as a current city council member, you know that in order to get anything done, you need at least 4, probably 5 votes to make sure that an initiative gets done. How are you going to build a consensus with other council members?
Well, the number one is, you're exactly right. It takes 5 votes to get something to go through. Is if somebody is opposed to an initiative, what is the reason? And can you address or amend a motion to address their concerns? And everybody has great ideas, but at the end of the day, is it financially feasible? And is it in the best interest of the community? And that's what you got to identify. Is it truly in the best interest of the community?
Sure. In the few minutes we have left, any closing remarks?
Well, I'm excited. I love Statesville. I think Statesville is postured for really good, positive growth, and it's not all about industries. We have a lot of housing developments that have already been approved. Statesville is postured at the bookend of the Charlotte metro population area, and you know what? This is a great community. We have great corporations here in Statesville, and it's a great place to live. And I just want to be a part of that process.
Well, thank you so far for your service on City Council, and we look forward to seeing where it takes you.
Yep, awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.